Oh, hold on. Hang on. Here I come. Hi, Diane. How are you? Hope you had a good weekend. I'm running behind. Give me just a second here. A little cold this morning, correct? Make sure I got everything pulled up here, set up. Hi, how are you? I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. voiceofruralamerica.com. Diane, I hope you have had a great weekend. It's going to be a beautiful week. It will not be. We're in late August. It's August 25th here. We're going to have some cool weather headed into September. Probably getting close to that time to start locating those sweatshirts that you like to wear on Saturday while you're watching college football. May not be an ideal to be able to start pulling those boxes out. We have some time. But that being said, I'm running behind, Diane. I have it together, but what a way to start a week. Now, that being said, 57. Let me just say this, and we'll move past this right now. I heard this. Wow, the algorithm on TikTok, X, social media, Facebook, everybody supplementing a new logo of their own, all the little jokes and memes out there. I mean, I even dreamed like Cracker Barrel, and I had a gay waiter and came up and said, "Welcome to Cracker Barrel. Our special today is fried chicken and Heineken." And now I'm concerned, like, should I be concerned that I had a dream and there was a gay waiter in the dream? I mean, everything that could go, don't get all upset. It just happened, okay? Because you have seen all of the memes go woke, whatever, right? Now, let me just tell you this before we really blast off into today's show. Still concerned over that gay waiter thing. Wow. Before we really blast off into that show, Cracker Barrel has taken a turn downhill when they started serving beer. When Cracker Barrel felt, you got to understand, this CEO, I don't know her name right off, but it's not her first day. The new logo and remodeling the Cracker Barrel. This lady's been there a couple days already, and when they started serving beer, hey, let's run down and get an Uncle Herschel's all-you-can-eat, biscuits and gravy, and give me a beer, by the way. I'm going to have some pancakes and a beer. Those early morning drinkers, right? Whatever. I need a beer with my breakfast, whatever it may be. Or I can't have pork chops or catfish in the afternoon without a good beer. Anyhow, so they have gone, they have been struggling for a little while. They have, and we understand the old logo and the new logo. We got that. So we'll talk about that a little later in the day. So John Bolton. Now, we're gonna talk about this today. The FBI and John Bolton. But let me just say, is it called a manuscript that when you write? Let me say this, unedited. Give me number. And Diane, I apologize because I got a lot of stuff from yesterday that I was working on, and then I got a lot of new stuff this morning. So give me number 90. Let me see if this is one I want, right? 92. Let's start with 92. And I want to get this off the books really quick. No one is above the law at FBI agent on. Now, Kash Patel, the raiding of John Bolton's home, right? 94. Anyone that comes out, there's an FBI investigation, okay? So there was cheerleading, dancing in the streets when they went into Mar-a-Lago and raided Mar-a-Lago. The FBI went in and raided several people's homes. Remember, the FBI went in and raided Roger Stone, right? Was it 5:30 in the morning? He was in his pajamas. They started pounding on the door, and CNN was right down the street. But anyhow, that being said, two judges signed off on this because I think his home, his personal residence is in Bethesda, Maryland. And then his office is in D.C. That is two different federal jurisdictions, two different FBI warrants. So two different FBI warrants looked at the information. Judges looked at the information and felt it was worth going in and pulling boxes out of his home. So that being said, I just want to say this. I know a lot of people are investigating and reading. You're hearing a lot surrounding a book that he wrote. And this was in 2020. A district court judge wrote this, 93 in 2020. Royce Lamberth in 2020 wrote, Bolton has gambled with national security of the United States. He has exposed his country to harm and himself to criminal and potentially harmed himself to civil and potentially criminal liability. Now, that being said, I just want to get past it. When you write books, okay, and they have you have ex-CIA or you have people that have worked in the government or whatever, and they write, this is Vince Flynn, okay? This is Vince Flynn, and this is a collector series. I have all of Vince Flynn's books. This is one of my favorite. I have every one over on the shelf, all right? But I remember an interview he did with him that was done with him before he died. He died of cancer. But I remember him explicitly saying that when you write these books and information may surround the government, you have to send your manuscript in. You have to send it in. It has to be reviewed by Intel to make sure that you're not putting out any top secret confidential information. So I don't know, but I will tell you this, there will be, take that down, there will be a lot of speculation. So just relax. We're going to see the facts come out. There'll be a lot of speculation on what's going on. What the investigation surrounds. If the FBI does their job and does it properly, and when I say properly, you won't hear very much about it. An FBI case is something that should not be in the media or normally is not in the media. So that being said, we will see what happens with John Bolton. I hope an arrest is coming his way. 83. Now, Lavrov, we will get into Ukraine. And when I say explain, one might think, why would he now go on Meet the Press? Why would he now go on Meet the Press. I'm going to get into that in further detail. But if you're hearing that the Russians are now delaying, the Russians are dragging their feet on making a deal. I have been reading Russian newspapers online, along with American, along with UK and French, for 3 years now. The Russians have never, since Donald Trump took office, President Donald Trump took office January 20th, the Russians have never changed their position. And here's what's difficult to say as an American this morning, starting the week out. Most in America don't understand a position coming from a winning, a war. You may not like it. God bless my veterans on here today. Thank you for your service. But the general population of America and this media being responsible for that in many ways, Americans do not understand how to report or receive from a position of winning a war. You are continually they're trying to sell you that there needs to be a peace agreement based on a ceasefire, based on what Zelensky wants. And that's a position of neutrality, a draw, nobody won, let's make a deal. But that's not what happened. So Russia is coming from every single angle at a position that they've won this war. And Europe won't accept it because they want to continue war. And Americans don't know how to accept that. Sorry. Hey, look, our kids have watched Afghanistan. Our kids have watched Iraq. I grew up Vietnam. I mean, we've watched this our whole life. Anyhow, leave that off there. But we'll talk about that a little later in the program. We'll talk a little more about John Bolton. We'll talk about the redistricting. We'll talk about going to Chicago. Now, Trump said the next place I may go is Chicago. Yes. I may roll right up into Chicago. Give me right here. And they are losing it. Oh, by the way, give me number 139. Chris Christie, the great white whale. Trump said, Chris Christie, the great white whale. You want to talk about those lane closures? You want to talk about Bridgegate, Chris? You know those lanes from Jersey to get on the GW where you wanted to get retribution? Woo. For some of your critics? Trump said, I might look that over, right? Are other Trump critics next? Could Chris Christie be next? So let me throw this out. This is a narrative that was running this morning. And if you're new to the show, I watch the deep state corporate corrupt media because I can give you guarantees on this program that sooner or later, if you stay here, the narratives we run on this program, you will see them come into full bloom as time goes on, as we explain them. That's what we do here. So give me this one right here, 138. I want to give you a narrative that is interesting. Remember Washington D.C. This one's gonna knock you out of the chair. Remember in Washington D.C., Nancy Pelosi would not authorize the National Guard, right? January 6th. There's a narrative now that in Washington, D.C., the National Guard's already there. They've been called out. Is this a test run for the next time they have to come into Washington, D.C.? Is this a test run across the country in the next election cycle? It's a narrative. It's out there. We'll talk about that a little later in the program. Now, all right, so we're going to, this one is I'm not clear on what we're doing here. And when I say that, don't get all bent out of shape at me. I'm just not. I'm not clear what's happening here. Give me 117. White House announces chip maker Intel to give U.S. government 10% stake. Now, at first glance, I mean, I have been buying, you've been buying products with Intel. This has an Intel Core i9. All right. A processor, when you go and you look at computers, there's AMD now. There's other processors out there, but Intel has held a processor. I mean, I think, what do I have here? I can't see it, but this is an Intel. I don't know. I remember Core i4, Core i5, Core i6 Intel processor. And the White House owns 10%. Now, I was thoroughly against Chrysler getting bailed out, Lee Iacocca. I was against that. And at that time, for you childrens out there that don't remember Chrysler getting bailed out by the federal government, we did not want to lose a national treasure. But at that time, my dad explained to me why, at that time, not a professor in some college somewhere, but my dad explained to me why we did not want to bail out Chrysler, why it was dangerous for the government to prop up companies. There was that socialism thing of privatizing, public-private partnerships. You've heard that for years. And then I will say this. People will think I'm totally wrong, and they'll say, look at how we came out of it. It was the best thing. And I disagree. I still disagree to this day. I would have let them all go broke in 2010, 9 and 10. I would have let them all go broke. I would have let General Motors go broke. I would have let Chrysler go broke. I would have let everybody go broke. Let them go broke. Hey, man, out here in the real world, when it's over, we go broke. We got no government bailout. And then, but it didn't happen. We bailed out all these people across the country. We even altered the rules of bankruptcy so General Motors could, put the bondholders behind the union. All that being said, now, Intel, I do not agree with this. I can't tell you I understand everything they're doing, but Give me give me video 19. Morning Joe, video 19.
They're nationalizing shit, and the Republicans don't care.
I'm just saying. I didn't say it. I didn't say it. He did. Right? Give me number 16, 15. Now, I'm sorry, 115, 116. Sorry, Diane, that is my fault. Diane cannot see the pictures until they actually come to the screen. She can only find the number. So, U.S. takes 10% stake in Intel as Trump flexes more power over big business. And then we want 115. So, conservatives speak out against 10% stake. Now, very few times, and I'm going to go to break. We've got a lot of work to do today. Chicago, we have the Georgia hour at 10 o'clock. What do we have going on? Derek Dooley, running for the Senate, claims his relationship's not that great with Governor Brian Kemp, as you would think. Interesting move. So, now, this may be the second time. Diane, you know this all too well. You're going to be like, you're not even going to believe that I'm putting this up from the Blowfish of Georgia. Give me 106. I can't tell you on one hand how many times I've ever posted an Eric Erickson post. So many of you were opposed to Mondami wanting to seize the means of production in New York City, but are totally fine with Trump's Commerce Secretary wanting the U.S. government to become the largest shareholder in Intel. This is socialism with an R next to its name. Now, I for one, when I come on this program, it's not a matter of like and dislike. There's people I like, there's people I dislike. I'm not a real fan of the Blowfish of Georgia, Eric Erickson, as you well know. But it doesn't matter who puts it out there. If it resonates and I think it's relevant, I'm going to look at it. And I'm not disagreeing with this. I mean, you cannot be yelling about Mondani in New York City wanting to put the New York City grocery store in place. And they say, well, we're only going to own 10% of this company. Now, apparently, we had Government Motors, right? And they were supposed to pay back government. We called it Government Motors. And that was our touching right into owning a corporation in America, the federal government. What is next? Well, you don't understand. You don't know what's going on at Intel. Give me 107. You don't know all the details there. Well, folks, there's times when I may not know all the details, but I'll tell you what I do know. I know we open doors, and I know when we crack them open, this is what gets me all the time. Someone will say, well, I think for this time right now, this is not a bad approach. And people will come back to me. It doesn't matter. Local government, counties, cities, whatever. And I'll go to them and I'll say, I disagree. Why are you like that? What do you mean, why am I like this? Well, this is for the best. I mean, right now, this is the best approach. And what we will do is we will write the legislation, the law, or the agreement this way. And I always say, no matter what the situation is, the minute you crack the door open, there's always someone waiting down the hall that sees a cracked open door and decides to kick it wide open. No matter what you attack me and say, well, you don't really understand what's going on here. Yes, I do. I know if the United States of America takes a 10% stake, we're not supposed to be in the business of anything. We're not. We're not supposed to have a profit center in America in the government. It's not supposed to be a profit center. When someone, it doesn't matter who it is, looks at you and says, we're going to be bringing in all this revenue. Okay, I'm good with the tariffs. Hold back. Not the same thing. Not the same thing. But this is going to bring in so much to our treasury. We're not a business. The government's not supposed to be a business. It's not supposed to be bringing in funds. The tax structure already is so far out of whack. All I'm going to say here is I can't agree with this. Let's go with video 20 for just a second. I know it's going to make you nervous, but video 20.
Look, the socialization of a tech giant that's been the cornerstone of America's technology revolution for the past 35 years. We've got the Clement Attleeization. Nobody's ever said that before. He was a socialist leader that took over after Churchill. Of the Republican Party. They're nationalizing shit. And the Republicans don't care. No, I think we're allowed to say that when you take over. And what senator, I think Rand Paul said something. Where are the Republicans who whine about if you eat the wrong donut as a candidate? Oh, he's a socialist. There was red filling inside of that donut.
107. If socialism is government owning the means of production, wouldn't the government owning part of Intel be a step toward socialism? Socialism, a step toward. Terrible idea. What to know about the U.S. getting a stake in Intel? I don't know, folks. I don't know. This is, I get this right here. Give me 108. And I got to get out. I didn't realize it was this late. Cracker Barrel shares drop after logo change. Cracker Barrel number 109. Cracker Barrel shares plummet after pushback on new logo. Brand refresh. Cracker Barrel. Okay. So this is not a private company, but this is a company on the open stock market, not owned by the government. They made a decision. They've got a CEO. The CEO is rebranding the restaurant. You're not happy with it. You've decided to sell your shares, or others have, to the point that the stock is going down. Cracker Barrel's been in decline for a couple years, ever since they started, or if not more, but passing out beer to go with your gravy and biscuits. Look, if you want to go to get a beer, that's fine. But Cracker Barrel is really not the place to, hey, I think I'll go down to Cracker Barrel and get a beer. But anyhow, moving along. But Intel, the government owning 10% of Intel, crickets. No one's asking questions. The algorithm on social media, what they send you over to keep you occupied. They send you over the crap. I'm with you. I like nothing about this, but I watch all the sensationalism, what everybody is keeping occupied because Cracker Barrel doesn't have a barrel and the white guy sitting in a rocking chair with bibbed overalls telling a story. I got it. Now, you know, it really upsets me because when I go to Cracker Barrel, I like to take my mom. My mom wants the catfish. Let's go to Cracker Barrel. I want my catfish. I know what's going on out there in America. It's like you all have 97, 11, 38, 12 gift cards you got to use up. I know what you did this weekend. You went and you said, oh my God, I got 12 Cracker Barrel gift cards. I have to get down there now, right? I know. I got it, right? I like to take my mom to Cracker Barrel. And you know what I like? I like going by the rocking chairs. I like the people sitting in the rocking chair because there's something about the people sitting in the rocking chair and the feeling that you have when you get there that you say, hi, how are you today? It's just real inviting. It doesn't matter who's in the rocking chair, right? Hey, how are you today? I'm doing great. Good for you. Nice day. I think it's going to rain. It's just all that. It's great. But this is exactly what they have you focused on. And you're over here. Look over here. Look over here. And we own 10% of Intel. I don't know. I'm not getting it. I can't figure it out some days. What the hell? Oh, wow. Bing, boom. It's 8:32. I'll be back after these messages.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we're proud because for more than 65 years, we've built a legacy of trust for the families we serve. That's why 80% of our business comes from repeat customers and referrals. When you treat folks as well as we do, word is bound to get around. Days Chevrolet in Jasper, family first since 1959. Days Chevrolet, Days gets it done. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCar Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
The great white whale. You know, I say things and people are like, what's he saying? What's he saying? Chris Christie. The great white whale, right? I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on FYNTV.com. No, that's not right. Diane, where are you when you're supposed to be pulling me back from all these presumed errors? We'll try it again. Good morning, Monday morning. I'm your host, BKP. I think it's because I'm rushing around here. I've got a lot I want to clear up. I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. Now we have it correct. I know where I'm at. Do you know where you're at? It's 8:39 a.m. Do you know where your children are? I mean, you should have known last night at 10 p.m. You remember that one? It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are? Oh, wait a minute. All right, so Russia, Ukraine. I want to get this one out of the way. Chris Christie ran his mouth. Trump dared him to keep running his mouth. He dared him. So now, Russia and Ukraine. We'll talk about the military. We'll talk about the National Guard going to Chi-Town. We'll talk about redistricting. Let me throw this one out at you. Hi, Diane. How are you? Did I say that already? Give me number 49. There's always money in the banana stand. There is. Don't forget. Now, we'll talk redistricting momentarily. I just want to put this up. Get the juices flowing. California's presidential results 2020 versus 2024. And then you know about the increase in Republican voter registration. Take that down. So we will get into that a little later today. Georgia hour, 10 a.m. Now, Sergei Lavrov went to the media. Give me number 83. Here he is. This old guy here, he is the equivalent or the, let's see if I have one. I thought I did. I thought I had one that I was using before. Maybe I don't. Let's see here. Now, wait just a minute. No, I thought I brought over my my one that I really like, my Rubio Lavrov pick, and I didn't bring it over. Anyhow, I like that one because the example I use there is at no time has he changed what he has been telling our delegations. Diane, you're just being awful tricky there, huh? See that right there? That's symbolism. We're going to use that. Rubio takes on tricky task of drafting security guarantees for Ukraine. Now, let me just say this. We know we're not going to go backwards, but we know on January 16th, the UK Stammer signed an agreement in fear of what Trump would do. Now, Trump campaigned. This is why they're very cautious. They say it out there, but Trump campaigned, okay? I would end this war in one day. And Trump couldn't go out there and say, I would end this war in one day if. He couldn't put that out, but he may have been a little presumptuous saying, I could end this war. I can name this tune in one note, one day. But still yet, if Europe and our so-called allies, if Biden, well, the people surrounding Biden, the deep state in America, if UK and others would not have rushed in to stop Trump, it would be solved. And if Washington, D.C., Jake Sullivan, right, Anthony Blinken, Burns, former CIA director, if they would have all not accepted but told you the truth, they know the truth. If they would have told you the truth, that Russia won and it's over, if Europe would tell you the truth, they can't lose the corrupt Ukraine. That's on another day. But if Europe would have any time told you the truth, it's over, and we need to negotiate from a position of surrender, Ukraine a surrender, then it would have been over in a couple of days when Trump took office. But you see, this is Lavrov. He is not the next Secretary of State. He has been there for several years. He dealt with Blinken. He dealt with Sullivan. He told Marco Rubio, the Russians told Marco Rubio right up front, here are the conditions, the root causes. Remember, we've always heard the root causes. All right? The root causes. Zelensky's got to go. The root causes. The parliament has to go. It has to be a Russian-friendly government that's put in place. This is what they say. All right? No, you cannot put troops in there. You cannot mobilize, put troops, start building bases in Ukraine on our border. No, you cannot put NATO in there. They have never changed that. Now what they're doing, after Trump meets with Putin in Russia, he goes on NBC. And Kirsten Wilker will not let him say, will not accept, will not even act as though she understands what he is telling her. But this guy does, Marco Rubio does, and let me get past this because it's never changed. What you're about to hear has never changed. Go back to 83. So Lavrov, he goes on Meet the Press, and this is, let me show you some things that they are losing it over this morning. All right. We will get to Maxwell in just a moment. I'm much more interested in what's about to happen. I love this picture here, 95. This is the first meeting, I think, is it 2019 when Putin meets Zelensky? I wish you could get a really great look on Putin's eyes. This is the first time he looks, a look at the first and only time Zelensky met Putin. 2019, Putin's cutting his eyes over like, this ought to be easy enough. Let's see what else I have here. So give me number 110. 110. Russia, Lavrov casts doubt on swift peace deal for Ukraine, says no Putin-Zelensky meeting planned. Now, if they meet with Zelensky, it has to be clear. Now, as you well know, Zelensky's put in martial law. Zelensky has cracked down on the Russian Orthodox Church, Christianity. He's attacked them. Zelensky has had thousands of his people just killed. To me, no concern whatsoever. You and I have been paying all the bills in Parliament, all of their lawmakers, their pensions, everything. We're paying all the bills. Again, Zelensky put martial law in. He's canceled all the elections. He is installed as a dictator. They don't recognize him as a democratically elected official. Now, our left-leaning media, our deep state corporate corrupt media, they will tell you all day long. You can listen, and they'll talk about, what will they talk about? They'll talk about a democratically elected leader around the world. To me, Zelensky is no more than Maduro in Venezuela, as upset as you may get. He's not a democratically elected leader, and that's what Russia's saying. They're not going to deal with him because they don't even know who can legally sign the agreement for Ukraine. Who can legally sign? I mean, when we get done and a new parliament comes in place, are they going to say Zelensky couldn't sign this by our Constitution because he wasn't really the president? There's a lot of factors out there. So they tell you, and I'm not taking up for Russia. I always got to be clear. I'm not a Russian agent in any way whatsoever. But they tell you that Russia is attacking civilians. Now, keep in mind, in 2020, January 16th, 2020, 4 days before Trump was sworn into office, President Trump, UK went and signed a 100-year deal. Look, I'm just going to show you this right here, okay? Give me this. I'm wondering, what do you think? I want to go back to this one in just a moment. But what do you think? Do you think Trump will light up the Capitol? What do you think they'll do around the Capitol today? And who will? Give me number 127. The Roman Colosseum is lit up blue and yellow. The Eiffel Tower is lit up gold and yellow, blue. Countries around the world mark Ukrainian Independence Day. I wonder if Trump will do the White House. Just saying. So Lavrov said, just because they put a coffee maker in the window doesn't mean they're making coffees. They're making coffee. Sorry about that. Give me video 1.
Sites which are not linked to military abilities of Ukraine.
This is an electronics factory, though, sir. This is an electronics factory. I've spoken to people on the ground there. It builds coffee machines, among other electronics. This is not a military site.
Well, I understand that some people are really naive, and when they see a coffee machine in the window, they believe that this is the place where coffee machines are produced. Our intelligence has very good information. And we target only, as I said, either military enterprises, military sites, or industrial enterprises directly involved in producing military equipment for Ukrainian army.
Mr.
So you say, take that one down. So you say they're making coffee machines. We don't see it that way. Now, here's what they're losing it over this morning. All right. There's no meeting planned, and we do not recognize, let's see if this one's it. Give me video 14.
Meeting planned, Mr. Foreign Minister. That's a big if. You're saying there's no meeting planned right now.
There is no meeting planned, and I'm not challenging this. Putin is ready to meet with Zelensky when the agenda would be ready for a summit. And this agenda is not ready at all. There are several principles which Washington believes must be accepted, including no NATO membership, including the discussion of territorial issues, and Zelensky said no to everything. Legitimacy is another matter, because irrespective of when this meeting might take place, and it must be very well prepared, the issue of who is going to sign the deal on the Ukrainian side.
So you're saying you don't see President Zelensky as the legitimate leader of Ukraine? President Putin doesn't recognize him as the legitimate leader of Ukraine?
No, we recognize him as de facto head of the regime. And in this capacity, we are ready to meet with him.
Then later in the show, moderator Kristen Welker spoke with Vice President J.D. Vance.
We consider him the de facto. That's who he is, the de facto head of the regime. Got it? De facto head of the regime. That's how we see him. No other way. And I'm telling you right now, let me see what else I have here. We got to get to the redistricting, and I want to do that. I don't want to burn a lot of time, but the de facto head of the regime, I have some, let me get some, something I want to remind you of is number 33, all right? Territory is not what Russia is interested in, Lavrov. They want, they're very clear. I will say this. Give me 34. Zelensky can't sign the peace deal. Can't sign it. You can go read this for yourself. Go read it. This is their position. This is their position, okay? He cannot sign the peace deal. Now, one more thing I want to put out there, because I want to come back and get right into the redistricting, and then we have to get to Chris Christie this morning. I have something else here I wanted to make sure I was clear on. Now, China, let's see, here we go. Sorry about that. China and Russia, remember I brought this to you last week. Now, 30, they're upset because the Pentagon has blocked Ukraine from using U.S.-made long-range missiles against Russia. All right, the ATACMS, all right, that would go into Russia as far as Moscow. The Pentagon said you can't use those weapons, can't use them that way. And I know I had it here, but you do know, I don't know where I put it, Diane, but Xi Jinping will visit, I know where it's at now. It actually is in one of the CNN clips for the day. Xi Jinping is planning a visit, number 128. I mean, Putin is planning a visit to China. Putin's going to China. He's going to be there, I think, 4 days. Putin is headed over there to China. He's going to be there for 4 days. Now, I brought this to you Friday, and I told you Friday, remember, China's come out and said, well, we'll help with the peace negotiations. Maybe we can look at putting together the security guarantees for Ukraine. That's right. China said, why is Europe, why are they talking? Why is the UK? Why are they talking about security agreements for Ukraine they lost? Why are the Americans pushing something? How come Russia, when are you guys going to acknowledge that Russia won this war? We do not report, we do not accept, and most Americans do not understand the concept of somebody won. I'm sorry about that. That's the facts. Here's what's going on. They're coming back in September. This is all set up for September. Ready? Video 18.
With J.D. Vance at this point, and the vice president, it's time for aggressive actions, aggressive negotiations, and that means a $90 billion aid package. That means oil sanctions, and that means pushing the Russians to the negotiating table.
So let's bring in politics.
Now, why do I play this guy that upsets you so much? Because, folks, I'm going to tell you right this minute. The deep state, CIA, corporate, corrupt, Mockingbird media, they send these people, they send them a narrative. And what Ukraine needs right now, if Russia's not going to play ball, according to them, the deep state, corporate, corrupt media, they need a $90 billion aid package. Wow. I can see that coming. Now, Chicago next. Chris Christie. I want to do a Chris Christie story for a reason. Well, I just want to do it. He's the great white whale. Take a break.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we're proud because for more than 65 years, we've built a legacy of trust for the families we serve. That's why 80% of our business comes from repeat customers and referrals. When you treat folks as well as we do, word is bound to get around. Days Chevrolet in Jasper, family first since 1959. Days Chevrolet, Days gets it done. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting edge digital technology and state of the art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second to none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender. We take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP, and you're watching BKP Politics on Voice of Rural America.com. Hi, Diane. Diane, I asked you this a while back, and I didn't follow up. I didn't follow up, and I didn't tell you I was going to do it today. So she has this big motherboard up there that she has all these things happening, folks, and and I'm like, she's like, wait a minute, you didn't tell me you were going to do this. I'm setting you up, Diane. Diane, you remember I talked about like maybe a graphic of I know this is on the screen of all the places that could cover me while I was talking of where to find us. Did we get that?
That right there has majority of the places, but I don't have just other than the.
Was that the damn question?
I mean, there's one extra place that's not really listed there.
So you just ignored my ass. Is that
I mean, I have it on the screen. You can go to the Google Play Store, the Apple Store. You can go to Roku. You can go to X, Rumble. Then we have our podcast, and there's one extra place. It's a very obscure place.
Already.
It's called pilled.net. So it's very obscure place.
So what you're saying is what I asked you already have here, basically?
Basically. So I didn't do it.
Thank you, Diane. That's our little, there you go. So, I have to say how much I enjoy that. Thank you, Diane. She is exactly right. Here's the one thing. Rumble. I want to say something. Okay. I've been promoting Rumble lately, and I'm going to continue to promote Rumble for a reason. We're on Roku. We're on, you can get our app on Apple, the Apple Store. You can watch on X, Facebook. All right.
Yeah, I forgot Facebook and YouTube, but YouTube's kind of hit and miss. It's not very consistent. But here lately, Facebook's been pretty consistent, I believe. So, yeah. So I guess I could put Facebook on there now that they've opened it up to us, but don't know how long that's going to last.
Okay, so Diane with her realistic, optimistic view. It was very real, folks. We don't know. That's one of the reasons I'm talking about Rumble. I mean, Roku, we have an app there. You can watch X. X has not been bad. It's not bad. We just have to, when I say remember, and I want to say, folks, I want to be clear. Diane's got 90, 11, 47, 82 things to do in the morning. So sometimes you have to click on something to pull it to the top of X. But outside of that, X has done pretty well. But the reason I'm promoting Rumble is, I remember the day that YouTube took our channel, just took it. Boom, it was gone. I mean, no getting it back. Archives or anything. It was just gone. And we went to Rumble. We moved over to Rumble. And Diane, they have never flagged anything at Rumble. Am I correct?
No, there's never been a flag. We've had a couple of hiccups here and there, but we've never had a issue with any censoring or anything with Rumble. And really, for the most part, the Rumble app is pretty good, especially if you're going down the road. It pulls a little less data than, say, our app may be, but it works pretty well, actually.
And well, you're saying every once in a while there's a tech issue. I mean, it could drop or something every once in a while. They're like any
like last week, for some reason, I don't know if it was my signal or what, but because I've been having the same computer issues you had last week with not being able to get to certain websites with one computer, but I can with another computer. So I've been doing a lot of tech stuff here at the house, trying to figure out why I can't, and I still can't get to a website through the broadcast computer, but I can with my personal computer. So, but one day last week, I believe it was, Rumble just quit working on me. So, but that's few and far between.
But as far as content, they've never blocked anything we put out.
Not to my knowledge. I've never gotten a notice that something's been blocked.
Right. We've hit a strike or two in other places. All right. So I've been promoting them is all I'm saying. I'm promoting them as far as where we broadcast. We broadcast, I'm just throwing off the top of 12 places, but at the same time, I like supporting Rumble because when we didn't have anywhere to go before we could go back on Facebook, and Zuckerberg said, well, I won't block BKP and others, and we went back on YouTube. Before we went back or started being able to even upload to X, Rumble was there for us. So give me this one right here. I want to make a brief statement that we're going to work on later in the week. Number 28, AI. All I want to say here for before I get in trouble, U.S. billionaire Sam Altman, Elon Musk in a race to integrate tech into human bodies. All right, you won't see this article in the U.S. Philosophy professor warns brain-computer interfaces, AI implants, genetic interventions, and mind uploading need ethics framework to avoid risk. Now, you can read this article. We'll get into it a little later. But I want you to just keep something in mind. Every single thing they do, they put the game version out first. Everything in the control world, they put the game version out first. And what I mean by that is when we had to learn to point and click. Most of you know that pointing and clicking on computers started. The reason back in the 80s, I think they still do it now. I'm not for sure. But back in the 80s, they would put things on computers, 80s, 90s, as we started with a home personal computer. And that was solitaire. You do know why solitaire was loaded on every single computer in the United States. Double click, point and click, and drag. So unbeknownst to you, solitaire taught you how to take a card and drag it, taught you how to double click it and it would go over here. Yeah, solitaire was every single thing. Here's the point I'm making with AI right now, and I don't want to stay in this. We'll come back to it later. Every single thing they do, they come out with the game version first. Okay, now I can go to AI and I can upload a picture and I could turn it into a baby talking. Really easy. And it's funny, right? It's funny. You enjoy it. I could turn the picture into people looking like a clown. I could say, do this to the picture. So just keep in mind, AI is on the enjoyable side right now and intrigue. But someone said to me the other day, I can't wait for when we do not need all of these employees that complain, moan, are late for work, punch in late, sneak out early. I can't wait for that. And then we won't have to pay all the taxes. We won't have to pay the Medicare, Medicaid, whatever insurance. We don't have to pay the Social Security. Employers don't have to pay the matching Social Security rate. Don't have to offer them these certain benefits. Let me say this, and I'll get out. You ready? Lawmakers all across the country are studying right now how to recoup those taxes and those fees and everything from your robot. If you have 12 employees today and there is something in AI that will allow you to cut it to 6, if you think there's a state out there or a federal government that says, okay, well, you had 12, now you have 6, so you think you're going to short us the tax structure from 6? Not going to happen. They're working on it now. They're working on it now. If you think your workforce is going to go down and your overhead and your benefits that you have to pay in is going to go down, not going to happen. They are working on it now. They cannot lose that revenue, and they won't. AI, when you hear AI is going to take out this many jobs, somebody has to pay in. How can you have 1 million people, then 250,000 you don't need anymore, but you got to pay out Social Security, and 250,000 are no longer paying into Social Security because you don't need them anymore. You don't need them to stock shelves at the store, drive the truck, whatever. They are working all that out. Just keep that in mind. Just wanted you to think about that. Now, so Chris Christie, right? Give me this one right here. Let's see. ABC. That's not the one I want. Video 13. Give me Chris Christie video 13.
Meanwhile, President Trump went on the attack on Sunday against another one-time ally, former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie. Trump posted on Truth Social after Christie criticized him during an interview on ABC News. The president hinted at reopening the investigation into a scandal known as Bridgegate, saying Christie never took responsibility for his part in it. Back in 2013, members of Christie's administration were accused of needlessly ordering lane closures on the George Washington Bridge and creating traffic delays in an effort to make political retribution. Christie was not charged with any wrongdoing at the time.
Here, hold my cell phone. Now, Diane, this is a good one. Diane, how long have I told the story to this audience about Christopher Wray, where Christopher Wray came from, the Chris Christie cell phone, and how Chris Christie brought Christopher Wray to the White House? I have told that story for years. I got 10 years telling that story. I was on this show 5 years ago. So, give me number 36. The great white whale. He may get harpooned. But keep in mind, what does that mean? Well, Trump just throws this stuff out. I just watched sloppy Chris Christie being interviewed on a ratings challenged news show. This week at George Stephanopoulos on ABC Fake News. By the way, what the hell is happening to John Carl's hair? He looks absolutely terrible. It's amazing what bad ratings on a failed TV show that was forced to pay me $16,000 could do to one's appearance. I tell you what, only Trump can write this stuff, man, right? Can anyone believe anything that sloppy Chris Christie says? Do you remember the way he lied about the dangerous and deadly closures of the George Washington Bridge in order to stay out of prison at out of prison, at the same time sacrifice people who work for him? So, Chris Christie. So, I guess the short story is, Chris Christie had a couple enemies. He closed a couple lanes going in. If you lived in a certain area and you needed these lanes, if you don't understand what I'm saying, and we don't want to belabor this, if you're headed towards anything, bridge, tunnel, outer bridge crossing, no matter what it is, going into the city in the morning, certain lanes are coming from certain areas. It's not a big deal. So he closed the lane. But if you get on the turnpike on, exit 17, there's certain lanes that you get in that put you right up on the GW bridge, that put you up to the toll booth. And those were somehow just closed. And people that Chris Christie did not like used those lanes. Now, that's just a really quick summary. But don't forget, right? Now, so here you go. Number 38. I'm going to make this very quick, right? So this is the New York Times this morning, because they know. Trump threatens to investigate Chris Christie over Bridgegate. President Trump floats the ideal after the former governor of New Jersey, a one-time ally, criticized his use of the Justice Department. This came out August 25th, today. President Trump on Sunday threatened to investigate former Chris Christie, right, after the raid, the FBI raid. Now, we'll get to it in just a minute, but let's go back to this one. This is also the New York Times. And let's go to number 42. This is July 7th from the New York Times. Christie's phone, a missing piece in the Bridgegate, is found. After weeks of shrugs and his head scratching, they've been asking for your phone because they say there's text messages on there, Governor Christie, that will prove that you sent word to close these lanes. I don't know. I must have left it at home. I must have left it on the kitchen table. I'm not for sure. I don't know. I mean, I lost it. I mean, truck stop, bathroom. I ran in there to get a cup of coffee. I don't know where it's at. After weeks of shrugs and head scratching, one of the more perplexing mysteries of the investigation into the infamous traffic jam at the George Washington Bridge has been solved. Governor Chris Christie's lawyer has the governor's cell phone. Well, my lawyer has it. Okay, and who would that be? 39? This guy. See, when Trump sends something out, you gotta listen, right? When Chris Christie stashed his Bridgegate cell phone with the FBI nominee. Number 40. During lowest point of his career, Christie turned to Trump's FBI pick for advice. Christopher Wray, President Donald Trump's pick to be head of the FBI, was the first person Chris Christie called when the George Washington Bridge scandal broke wide open and the New Jersey governor faced very, very troubling, confusing, difficult times. Number 41. So when the bridge scandal broke, Chris Christie's first phone call. Christie's hiring of FBI nominee, Bridgegate attorney, raises questions, right? Christopher Wray. You see, his first phone call was to Christopher Wray. That's it. So give me video 16.
Sabille, you caught up with Governor Christie. What do you got?
With the whole country watching former FBI Director Jim Comey's testimony before Congress in D.C., I wanted to get reaction from an interested party, Governor Chris Christie. I found him in Dayton, New Jersey, where he was holding an event and talking about the Transportation Trust Fund. But of course, what was on everybody's mind was happening in D.C. at the exact time Governor Christie was holding this event in New Jersey. In light of President Trump picking Chris Wray as the new FBI director, I asked Governor Christie if Chris Wray, who was his lawyer during Bridgegate, would now give him his cell phone back.
Governor, now that President Trump has picked Chris Wray as the new FBI director, will he give you back your cell phone?
I guess if I asked for it.
Was he mad at that, or was it?
No. Actually, Governor Christie took my question very seriously, and he actually said that he wants to, for everybody, for the record, explain the whole history of the cell phone.
There's so much ridiculousness about this issue, so let me walk through it really carefully for you guys. After I retained Mr. Wray and he had requests for information from that cell phone from the U.S. Attorney's Office, I instructed him to fully cooperate. Mr. Wray and his firm then took possession of the cell phone to be able to convey the appropriate information that was requested by the U.S. Attorney's Office to them. And he just kept the cell phone after that. No reason for me to have it. It had no connection any longer to the cell towers, and it wasn't able to be utilized. So I remember at one time someone asked me, which caused all this ridiculousness, where's the cell phone? I said I didn't know. What I meant by that at the time was that I didn't know whether Gibson Dunn had it or whether King and Spalding had it. Didn't know. And I know, because I knew it was going to be asked today, and verified with Mr. Wray that it's still at King and Spalding. I don't care what they do with it. As far as I'm concerned, they can throw it out if they want. It doesn't.
So Christopher Wray, Chris Christie, the great white whale, okay? Give me this right here, and we got to close this up. Give me number 36, right? Chris Christie hires, wait a minute, give me 39. Chris Christie hires, right? Christopher Wray, it's his first phone call. It's his first phone call. The governor of New Jersey is Christopher Wray. And I'm going to paraphrase here. Hey, get that cell phone to me. What could they have on you? Text messages? Get me that cell phone. I'm your attorney. I'll handle it. Boom. I don't know if it went in a desk drawer or what, right? They couldn't find it for the longest time. Christopher Wray had the cell phone. Don't know who wiped it clean, how it got wiped clean. So when Trump fires, now Christopher Wray, whether you like it or not, used to be a very close friend of Donald Trump's. Used to be. So at this time, Trump fires James Comey. Christopher Wray says, Chris Christie said, hey, I got your guy. I got a guy that'll come in. I know a guy. He'll come in and, if something needs to, bada bing, bada boom, I can't find it. I thought it was here yesterday. I have your guy. I have a guy that will have your back. I know. And he brought in Christopher Wray. Donald Trump will always, give me number 36, let Chris Christie know through Signal. All right. Bridgegate is out there. I know what happened in Bridgegate. I know who your attorney was. I know it was Christopher Wray. I know what is about to happen with the FBI now. Trust me, Christopher Wray, FBI, the great white whale, Chris Christie. Don't forget, Trump said, I will reopen that case. Got it? All right, so we're going to come back. We got to talk. I want to talk briefly about the Republican vote and redistricting. I want to tie that together and maybe going to Chicago. Let's take a break.
Today, Chevrolet in Jasper, we're proud because for more than 65 years, we've built a legacy of trust for the families we serve. That's why 80% of our business comes from repeat customers and referrals. When you treat folks as well as we do, word is bound to get around. Days Chevrolet in Jasper, family first since 1959. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report. Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP, and you're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. Diane, now, let me just say this. There's what we can accomplish, what is political here. Now, Trump sending the National Guard to D.C. is a win-win. It's what they call one of those 80-20. 80% of the country, grandmothers want, and I was listening to a video this morning, grandmothers want to be safe in their community. So you're going to hear the arguing day after day. You're going to hear the arguing about the National Guard is in D.C., but they're not going down the streets where you'll hear this, the real crime is taking place. That's what you're going to hear. All right. They're only going to the area of D.C. Give me 102. They're only going to areas of D.C. This is what you will hear, where the tourists are coming in. They're not really going into the neighborhoods where the gangs and the violence are taking place. So I'm just giving you the argument. Now, the mayor of Baltimore, Wes Moore, 103. Trump is talking about going to Baltimore, going into Baltimore. He gets a little bit of an attitude. Give me Wes Moore, and that is video 17. I think I want to start it at 40 seconds, Diane.
Will be in Baltimore for the next 30 years. It's Baltimore's time. And I want to say that loud and clear for anybody, especially in Washington, D.C., who might not hear me. If you are not willing to be part of the solution, keep our names out of your mouth. Donald Trump, if you are not willing to walk our communities, keep our name out of your mouth. If you are not willing to understand the pride and the beauty of this city and this community, keep our name out of your mouth. Because if you were willing to visit, if you were willing to spend time, if you were willing to actually walk our communities and walk our streets and not just talk about us from the Oval Office, you would see what we see. One of the greatest cities in the United States of America. So let's.
Interesting. Go and look up Baltimore on TikTok and look at all of the neighborhoods there. Here is video 6. Here is Wes Moore, the governor of Maryland, video 6 on Face the Nation yesterday.
Are you so opposed to this deployment?
Well, there's plenty of reasons. One, it is not sustainable. You cannot continue this type of pace of operations, particularly when it's costing over $1 million a day in order to do this. The second, it's not scalable. You're not going to be able to do this in every single major American city, particularly when many of the cities that have the highest crime rates are the places that have actually deployed their National Guards to Washington, D.C. So who's going to go do the work in their cities? The third, it's unconstitutional. It's a direct violation of the 10th Amendment. And if for a party that talks about state rights, it's amazing how they're having such a big government approach in the way they're conducting public safety. The fourth reason is because it's deeply disrespectful to the members of the National Guard. As someone who actually deployed overseas and served my country in combat, to ask these men and women to do a job that they're not trained for is just deeply disrespectful. And so when we're thinking about all of these lasting factors, when we're thinking about the fact that it serves as a distraction from the fact that the president's disastrous economic policies are making everything more expensive for everyday Americans and making life harder for everyday Americans, there is a multitude of reasons that I'm against this, and I will not authorize the Maryland National Guard to be utilized for this.
Gavin Newsom said the same thing. He wouldn't utilize the National Guard to be used, but Trump went in. What are they trained for? Now, CBS Video 9, Trump's deployment of National Guard to Chicago. This was this morning, early this morning, 4 a.m., Video 9.
Comes as President Trump has threatened to deploy the National Guard to other major cities.
I think Chicago will be our next, and then we'll help with New York.
Prompting backlash over the weekend.
The city of Chicago does not need a military occupation. It would be, again, a clear, flagrant violation of the Constitution and federal laws.
Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson points to a 13% drop in crime in the Windy City since last year, according to Chicago police statistics. The president also took aim at Maryland's Governor Wes Moore yesterday, posting on social media, "If Wes Moore needs help, I will send in the troops and quickly clean up the crime." Moore on CBS News Face the Nation.
While the president is spending his time from the Oval Office making jabs and attacks at us, there are people actually on the ground doing the work who know what supports would actually work to continue to bring down crime.
The president is...
So statistics, that's what they're hanging on, statistics, data. Trump's ignoring the data that they're doing the job. It's coming down 12% here, 14% here, 16% here, 22% here. But we're down to only so many murders. One murder is too many. But that being said, so this is the Maryland, this is Chicago 131. This is Pritzker, right? Pritzker. And the safety of people of Illinois is always my top priority. There's no emergency that warrants the President of the United States federalizing the Illinois. Now, these are the same people, give me number 136, that were okay with locking you in your houses. They were okay with controlling you during COVID. Telling you how you can walk, when you can walk, what you could do, when you could go to school, when you could not go to school, when you could go to church, when you could not go to church, when you could go to eat, out to eat, how many people. You remember when they said you could go out to eat, but then they passed rules in the states that your minimized occupancy. You remember you would go in a restaurant and this table was X'd off because you had to sit over there and you had to sit over there in case you sneezed. So Mayor Brandon Johnson, now I thought this was quite, Trump says, well, let me put this one up. This is what Trump said. They're losing their minds. Give me video 12.
The people in Chicago, Mr. Vice President, are screaming for us to come. They're wearing red hats, just like this one, but they're wearing red hats. African-American ladies, beautiful ladies, are saying, please, President Trump, come to Chicago. Please. I did great with the black vote, as you know, and they want something to happen. So I think Chicago will be our next, and then we'll help with New York.
That was President Trump on Friday discussing plans to deploy National Guard troops to other major cities. The question is, how soon could that happen? Also, how do
All right, folks. So Trump said they're begging from other cities. This is true. This is absolutely true. But what they're begging is not just, some lady put the other day, the bougie neighborhoods. Now, I said this last week. What happens when we go into an area and actually a war zone, something breaks out? This lady in this next video, I don't know her name unless it comes up on the screen. She is a liberal. I watch her all the time on ABC and other things. There's nothing conservative about her. In this next video, you've got to watch the look on her face, because you're going to have one journalist on ABC talking about this, and then you're going to have John Karl try to run interference. You're going to see this. He tries to run interference, and then this lady's like looking at him like, I don't know where you're coming from, but I'm going to tell the truth here. Let's go with fighting crime there, video in the city's video 5.
And that is not how you do it. That's not how you fight crime.
Look, I think there is an element of this with Trump setting a trap for Democrats, but Democrats are walking into the trap. When Democrats argue, oh, actually, statistically, crime is a little bit down since 2023, and they don't acknowledge that crime is
But Trump draws the moon by saying things that just aren't true. I mean, Trump is not telling the truth about the crime stats.
Look,
crime stats might be down, but
there are many cases in which Trump lies even more than most politicians.
But he says this is the worst ever.
But the way Democrats handle it also matters, and they are making themselves look more out of touch with the way they're responding to it.
You also just have to open your eyes. I mean, look, D.C. looks a lot different than it used to. I mean, I used to live here. I moved because my house got robbed, my car got stolen, and this was before it got bad. So, I mean, there's that element.
And by the way, I'm old enough to have been here in the 90s when it was actually really, really bad. But I want to talk, given the downfall of the Democrats.
Remember Nancy Mace on there with George Stephanopoulos. Nancy Mace is the one that caused George Stephanopoulos and ABC have to pay $16,000. Remember that attack? But anyhow, what does she say? You just have to open your eyes. What do you mean? You keep coming with these statistics. You just have to open your eyes, right? So I ran this. Now, I'm not going to tell you these are accurate because AI and there were different numbers, but I ran these, and I'm gonna do this so we can get ready for the George Hour. To date, okay, is the way I look. 256 murders to date in Chicago. I don't give a rat's ass about statistics. 256. Baltimore, 143. Atlanta, it said 30. That may be incorrect. Memphis, Tennessee, 97. Detroit, 81. LA, 61. I think that might be off. New York City, 201. Philadelphia, 114. Now, I don't know that those are correct because I asked AI, and trust me, right now, all internet is trying to hide this statistics. But those numbers alone equal 983. 1,000 people. 1,000 people to date. 8 August. We got September, October, November. We got 4 more months. This is to date. Just in this right here. And they are correct when they say, well, wait a minute. What about Gary, Indiana? What about Shreveport, Louisiana? What about the murders in Monroe, Louisiana? What about the murders in Albuquerque, New Mexico? What about the murders across the country in the red states, right? I agree with that 100%. But just in these places right here, in these war zones, 1,000 people as of August. Folks, there were years that we had military in Afghanistan protecting the Afghans that we didn't have anyone killed. Anyone. All right, folks, we're going to be back in 10 minutes. We got to take a 10-minute break. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere. Don't turn your TV. Don't turn anything off. The Georgia Hour at 10 o'clock on the dot. Be here. All right?
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we're proud because for more than 65 years, we've built a legacy of trust for the families we serve. That's why 80% of our business comes from repeat customers and referrals. When you treat folks as well as we do, word is bound to get around. Days Chevrolet in Jasper, family first since 1959. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
$11,000 discounts real? You bet they are during the Last Chance event at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where every Chevy has our biggest Last Chance discounts, like up to $11,000 off new Chevy Silverado 1500 crew cabs. But you better step on it. It's your last chance to save up to 11 grand at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Days Chevrolet. Days gets it done. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Good Monday morning, 10 a.m., 8/25/2025, the Georgia Hour. I'm your host, BKP. It's time for the Georgia Hour on voiceofruralamerica.com. Diane, how are you today? That's great. I'm glad to hear it. Moving right into this morning, you know, Diane, Rodney said, we're in Georgia. It's going to be a little cool. Like in North Georgia, like 59 degrees tomorrow morning. That's right. So I like when it cools down in Georgia for a couple of reasons. When it's nice and cool, the political crap doesn't smell as bad as it does in the heat of July. Yeah, I said it. So anyhow, this is something, I'm going to show you something this morning, a couple things going on. So, you know, the voice, the little voices that I hear, as you well know, I hear them out there. Leave it alone. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. And what I mean by that is I got to wait for this to play out. And I can already feel it. What's that mean? I got to wait for some things to play out because they're out there. They're in development right now. And if I bring them in too early, if I bring some of these things in too early, it could cause a problem. But we won't let it go. And what I mean by that is, I don't know about your state. We have a lot of people around the world. The globe tunes in, okay, for the Georgia Hour. But we have a clear divide. And what we have in Georgia is a clear divide. The demagnification of Georgia, a clear divide. We have groups in Georgia, a group in Georgia that call themselves MAGA, America First, Trump supporters that are straddling the fence on supporting Brian Kemp, the governor of Georgia. You know, the royal family, the Kemps. So we're going to talk about that, but we have some things going on all across the state that is set up for a divide. And I don't have the clear answer right now. We will get into it later, and I can't continue on that. Every move is how can we divide the state. Now, I thought this was interesting. Must be political season, right? 140. This is interesting. Look at this. I'll just show you this. Now, I do know under the Biden administration, ICE was not directed, but ICE arrests in Georgia skyrocket. In 2021, there was 963 arrests. In 2025 alone, there's 4,500 arrests. A 367% increase. Wonder what brought that on, right? Wonder what brought that on. Now, so we're going to break down. I want to talk about a couple things, and here's what we're going to do. We're going to break down what they're trying to do with this guy here, number 53. Brad Raffensperger, the Secretary of State of Georgia, has not announced a run for any office. And Gabriel Sterling, who left the Secretary of State's office, he was the chief operating officer over at the Secretary of State's office. Most of you know and have come to love Gabriel in a special kind of way. But Gabriel Sterling left the Secretary of State's office. We showed you Friday what to pay attention for. But here is Derek Dooley. Now, I would extend an invitation, and I'm going to. I'll extend an invitation to Derek Dooley to be on this program. And I doubt he will take me up on this, but I will say this, okay? It would be a fair interview. It would be firm, but it would be fair. In an interview, Senate candidate Derek Dooley made clear there's no daylight between his stances and Donald Trump's priorities. He defends his record for not voting in previous presidential elections, and he said he wasn't as close to Kemp as some might think. So here's what I want you to know is they started this guy out, and they knew everything that was going to happen. So this is politics. Cody Hall runs the campaign. Cody Hall, the Kemp team, hardworking American. But let me say this. They know what they're doing. They have the money. They know what they're doing. They have the data. They have the computers. They have the networks. They've got the voting list. They've got the voting system. All the above. They got it. They know what they're doing. Now, they know going into this that this guy's going to have trouble explaining his voting record. They know that. And they know he's going to have trouble, explaining things like, where have you been? All the above. So they bring him in and they let that surface. Boom. Let it surface. You don't say a word. Now, I'm going to show you what's happening here, okay? I'm going to show you exactly what's happening with this guy right here. Mike Collins. We'll go back 2 weeks ago, and I went to Mike Collins' kickoff, and I've offered Mike Collins' team to be on the show. I can't make any comments, but there was something said to me from someone on Mike Collins' team. But I went to the kickoff. If this guy has a kickoff, I'll go there and offer the same thing for his team. He can come on the show. 2 weeks ago, you would think there's no way this guy can even stay in the race. Why, he should be so embarrassed he's worn that Tennessee orange. He should be so embarrassed because he did not vote for all those years. He should be so embarrassed he didn't even register Republican when he had the chance. Why, he should be so embarrassed his wife registered and he didn't. Why, he should be so embarrassed. There was a time when the media would already have run him out of town. There was a time. There was a time when he would not poll well. But when you have folks like Martha Zoller, she can carry the water for the governor. When you have the AJC, when you have these different groups around the state that you can put the guy in front of and take a couple pictures, there's nothing dangerous. When you can have him, I watched, this is the Kelly Loeffler effect. Now, he will do better than Kelly Loeffler, but I watched it. Remember? Kelly Loeffler, the handlers, they ran her in, put her on stage. She said what she wanted, ran her out, put her in the car. I still have the video. You remember when Tom Cotton came to town and she was down there in LJ? And I went down there and I wanted to ask her and Tom Cotton. I chased them to the car. They ran to the car. They wouldn't answer any questions. But anyhow, so this guy right here, the J.D. Vance event last week, J.D. Vance, Vice President of the United States, is in town. Derek Dooley goes down there, gets on the stage, makes a little speech. No harm, no foul. Now, if you noticed, they let him come in and they just let it all happen. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to let it all happen. Don't say anything. We're not going to say Trump. We're not going to say Kemp. We're not going to say anything. Boom. Then he had his interviews, right? Start out with his interviews. Put him in safe spaces. Start bringing him up. You see, they have a media cycle to deliver him to you. You want one more time? You want to hear it again? You ready? Because I don't think you are. There has been a complete effort because in Georgia, what they do in Georgia, the royal family, the Kemps, and all of them, they have a structure from AJC, Martha Zoller, WDN, the groups around the state that met with him, that they took pictures, that he spoke with. They have a delivery system, and here he is. He's now ready. Now, he will have errors, but you see, in the first 2 weeks, you would have thought that Mike Collins could not be beat in any way whatsoever. In the first 2 weeks, you would think there's no way this guy could stay in the race. Well, in fact, Bruce Lavelle last week asked him to get out of the race. Now, I'll show you exactly where I'm going with this. Now, there is a team. When I say team, there is a team and there's money put together to go after Mike Collins. So he comes in. Mike Collins looks great for 2 weeks, right? Great. And this is not anti-Mike Collins. This is a political analysis that I do. Period. No matter what the candidate is, you like, dislike, you're going to get political analysis from me. Mike Collins looked great for 2 weeks, right? Absolutely. 2-3 weeks, great. Trump guy, Riley Gaines, all these events, kickoff, can't beat it, state lawmakers endorsing him. He's the guy. This guy didn't even show up to vote. This has all been set up to deliver him to you at the appropriate time. Now, when Mike Collins first came on, they didn't waste all their money. They didn't waste all their money attacking Mike Collins. They didn't go after the things that they planned to go after with Mike Collins. Because, see, here's what happened. Is it needed to be Mike Collins here and Derek Dooley here, and there needs to be a slow but sure shift to where the competitive edge is not to Mike Collins anymore. It's coming. They're delivering this guy to you. Now, we're going to break down this interview, and I'm going to give you really quickly what happened here with this Derek Dooley and the AJC interview, because they know all the things. They put him out there. They listen to the yelling. They listen to the talk about Kemp. They listen to the talk about Trump. They listen to who would endorse, stabbing Trump's people in the back. They let all that just go out as they started to try to put it together for him to move forward. And I have to tell you, I've been watching politics for years, and I've been watching him. I told someone last week, and I got to move this because I got to start laying it out. We have Fulton County. We have gambling. Yes, gambling. We got to explain that one. We got to throw the albino rhino in for a minute before we go. So we have a lot to do, and I don't want to get stuck on the Senate race, but everything is set up for division in the state. Separate, divide, and conquer. So last week I said to somebody, they called me up and said, this guy's toast. Okay. All right, he's toast. So you think so? Yeah. I said, well, be careful with that. Why? He knows people and he's got money. Well, you may be right. No, I'm correct on this. He knows people, he may be right. So let's break down this recent interview, number 59. Derek Dooley casts himself as the Senate outsider who can win. So when I first look at him, can he play in Buckhead? Can he play in Alpharetta? Can he play in Milton? Can he play in Sandy Springs? Can he play at Social Circle or whatever it is, Peachtree City? Can this guy play in those moderate living rooms? Absolutely. Can Mike Collins find a place to park his tractor trailer up there at Buckhead to hang out with those people? Just saying. So this is going to be interesting. When former football coach Derek Dooley sat down with Donald Trump to discuss his Senate bid in Georgia, he told the president he wasn't seeking his endorsement just yet. So he's had a meeting with Donald Trump. He sat down with him. Now, so people will argue. My understanding is Brian Kemp is not the one that really put him in the seat to speak with Donald Trump. I'm being told that was Nick Saban at Alabama, or Nick Saban of Lake. What is that lake up the road up there? All right. What's the lake north of here? Anyhow, Nick Saban going to Rabun County, Lake Burton. All right. He lives on Lake Burton. Nick Saban lives on Lake Burton. College football coaches. My understanding is it's not 100% Donald Trump, him getting put in the seat. It has also Nick Saban's in on it. Okay? So the one-time coach entered the race in August with Brian Kemp's full-throated support and plenty of questions about how a political newcomer who has hardly staked out any political positions over the last 3 decades could be the standard bearer. So that's let's go to 61. In a wide-ranging interview, Dooley made, now don't forget, he met with Donald Trump. And he said, don't endorse me. I'm not here to get your endorsement. Okay? Because now look, Donald Trump, Mike Collins, why do you think Bruce Lavelle, why do you think Mike Collins had Bruce Lavelle on the stage last week? I knew why. Because Bruce Lavelle is very close to President Trump, and he's trying to get this endorsement for Mike Collins done and over with. He had a meeting with Trump, and he told Trump, he said, I'm not here to get the endorsement. Let me earn it. Oh, yeah. In a wide-ranging interview, Dooley made clear there's no daylight between him and his stance for President Trump's priorities. So we know, we've been watching. He's going to pretend like, with enough money out there, every single thing Trump does, I'm pro-Trump. There's no daylight between Donald J. Trump and myself. None whatsoever. Donald Trump says it, no daylight. They know they have to get him on the general election ballot for November. He also said he's better positioned to defeat Democratic U.S. John Ossoff than GOP rivals. What they are telling you, and you're going to hear this over and over, and this is what is going to be sold out there. Mike Collins, if he gets the Trump endorsement, this is going to be sold to you. He can win the primary, but he can't beat Ossoff. You're going to have that put at you in your face every minute of the day. Mike Collins, yes, he's MAGA. Mike Collins, yes, Riley Gaines Act, thank you very much. Mike Collins talks a good talk, but if he gets on the ballot, he cannot go toe-to-toe with Ossoff in a general election race. That is what you're going to be told. Okay? Do you see the game plan here? These people are sharp, folks. as arrogant as it sounds, it takes me to split this in half to show you the two sides. You see, in the primary, there's no daylight between him and Trump's priorities. He's letting you know. But if he gets on the general election stage, he's the only one that can take on Ossoff, because he will back away from that and he'll go center of the road, hoping that you, as a good Republican, will come out and vote R. He laid out a range of policy views, from advocating 2 terms to backing U.S. arms sales in Israel. He sidestepped others. He defended his record for not voting in 2016 and 2020. Now, here's where the interview and the questions. On my decision to run, my life really had a profound change during COVID, and what happened with the Biden administration after that. I just saw an opportunity there to go in and make an impact, and I think I was the right candidate. I think I was the right candidate for the job, and since that time, I haven't looked back. All right? Now, he wants you to believe in this article is set up to start showing some separation, letting him be his own man. Why, you think Kemp brought me in here? Hell no. You think I went up there and gravelled for the endorsement? No, I'll earn it. 62, I spent a long time proving to him that I had what it took. It wasn't something where he says, yeah, you could do it, let's go. I don't see it as a risk. We need new leadership in the Senate that's going to reflect what the people of Georgia want, and we should learn from President Trump and an outsider. So here's what he wants you to believe. He wants you to believe that Brian Kemp, he had to spend a long time, that he went to Kemp and said, okay, now there's something else in here. You know, remember the highlights magazines when you used to have to find things in the picture? That's why I'm so damn good at this. I used to sit there, I could find. Tell me, what do you see in this picture? What do you see? Everything's a setup. Every single thing they are doing is set up for this guy. Cody Hall, Brian Kemp, Cody Hall, John F. Kennedy, running for lieutenant governor. My God, folks, it's too easy. We'll get to that in a minute. I spent a long time proving to him I had what it takes. No, he didn't. He didn't spend any time proving this to Brian Kemp. Brian Kemp went to Sea Island. Brian Kemp told the donors, hold on, hang on there. Marty and I got a plan. Keep your powder dry. Don't get those checkbooks out yet. I'll let you know when it's time. That's what he did. We know that for a fact. Then Brian put everything in place. So the clearinghouse, we'll call it a clearinghouse. We will just call it a clearinghouse. So the clearinghouse, Amy Porter, we're hearing, and partners and friends, right, could process. Just send your check to me. I'll process it. Now I get a processing fee, 10%, right off the top. Bada bing, bada boom, right? It falls off into, it's like it falls off into a little cup. And I get to keep that. It rounds up. You ever went to the grocery store and they say you want to round up? What? I don't care if it's 3 cents. But yeah, they're rounding up. So he wants you to believe it took a long time for him to prove this. It didn't happen. But watch the way they're laying it out. Now, in the picture, it's State Senator John F. Kennedy, who is running for lieutenant governor, and Republican U.S. Senate candidate Derek Dooley shake hands at a Georgia Chamber Congressional luncheon at the Columbus Convention and Trade Center August 20th. Everything's set up. You see Cody Hall? Cody Hall runs Kennedy's campaign. Yeah, the two guys shaking hands that just seem like the right picture to put in the AJC is John F. Kennedy running for lieutenant governor, whose campaign is being run by Cody Hall, and Derek Dooley running for U.S. Senate, whose campaign is being run by Cody Hall. Bada bing, bada boom. Can't make it up. Can't make it up. 63. I mean, it's only Monday, Diane. I mean, they can't go and do anything that I can't read. What kind of corrupt, I'm using the word corrupt and get in trouble day and age. 63. We're all right. On skipping the presidential election, including 2016 and 2020, this is where you're not going to like my reaction, but I'm going to give you the reaction of someone that maybe doesn't pay attention at all times. Well, I did vote for Trump in 2024. Okay. I got it. Okay. That was that. Okay. And I did vote for Brian Kemp. Wait a minute. You voted for Brian Kemp. You voted for Trump. Are you saying that you support Kemp and Trump? Is that what you're saying? Are you saying you could possibly be the candidate that supports Trump and Kemp? Is that what you're saying? See, Mike Collins can't say that. No matter what you come at me with, he can't say that right now because he knows for a fact, and his campaign, that Kemp brought this guy into the race. He knows that. He knows every bit of that. So Mike Collins can't go say that. Buddy Carter, let's not forget Buddy's out there. He's a very nice man from the 1st District running for the Senate. Congressman Buddy Carter. They can't say that. They could say, I voted for Kemp and Trump. But there's something about the way the AJC gave him the platform to do it. And it's something about the way it was written. His answer was written and delivered. Well, I did vote for Trump in 2024, and I did vote for Governor Kemp. There was a time in my career where I was overly focused on my job and family. COVID and Biden administration changed me. That's why I proudly got involved and started voting, and that's why I'm here today. Now, you do know this is not an uncommon story in America. Now, I understand he's running for the U.S. Senate, but if you're sitting out there and you get a mailer, go to these meetings and ask someone when they got involved. I didn't get involved until 2020. How many people? The first time I voted was 2020. I didn't get involved. I mean, or after COVID, I got tired. I see what they were doing. This is not an uncommon story. It's not okay. But trust me, I'm watching what they are laying out. I voted in 2024 for Donald Trump. What happened with the Biden administration after COVID, and that's what changed me. I saw the disasters that were happening around our country and never thought I'd see again. And I was so frustrated with the leadership, and it motivated me to get in the game. In the game. That's interesting. That should play. And that's what I did. This is all set up. Now, 64. On why voters should back him despite not voting in the past. Well, I did vote. I voted. I did. And that's why you should vote for me. I voted for Donald Trump. I voted for Governor Kemp. Again, notice this? This is total manipulation. Every bit of this is total manipulation. It's all been laid out. They let you attack him or anyone for 2 weeks. And I'm going to ask everybody to come vote for me. All right, 65. I'm almost done with breaking this down. I just want you to see, and we will keep up with all of these races, governor's race and all of them, and lay out when these kind of things are happening. Number 65, because we can see behind the curtain on whether his coaching record is a liability. It's certainly fair to question everybody's background, and I did have a great career in coaching. Boom. If Trump backs a rival, what if Trump backs someone else? Of course, I'm going to stay in the race. My goal is to get the people of Georgia to believe in what I believe, and that I'm here to serve them first, but also certainly want President Trump's support, and I'm going to keep fighting to get both. So he's looking for the endorsement. He's looking for the endorsement. Now, will Trump endorse this guy? I don't know. Is it a lock that Donald J. Trump will endorse Mike Collins? I don't know. I don't see how President Trump, when I say get out of, I don't see how President Trump can get out of, okay? I don't see how President Trump can get out of endorsing Mike Collins or walk away from endorsing Mike Collins and not showing him support. I don't know how. But Trump is watching this one. President Donald Trump is watching this race, and he's watching the developments. And I would say, not knowing the facts, I would say he probably told, what's his name, Nick Saban and Brian Kemp and others. Nick Saban probably went to him and he probably said, you know what, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll sit on the sideline for a little bit. I don't know that. Now, what if Trump backs a rival? I'll stay in there. Now, on his relationship with Kemp, all right, now there's been a lot of gray areas here, but this is an out-and-out lie. This is a lie. Everyone really tries to paint that we're best friends. But there was probably 30, 40-year stretch where I never spoke with Governor Kemp until he decided not to run for Senate. And I saw a window there. And so we begun a relationship. Not true. Not true. All right. 66. Not true. And I'll tell you why. Because it takes a while to get everything set up. It takes a while to get everything set up. His relationship is so tight and so close. Give me what is this one? Hold on. Give me number 71. No. Yeah, that's all right. Hardworking Americans. Do you see how much money they are spending with this guy's name? Now, Hardworking Americans, Inc. is supposed to be a political a PAC, all right, to raise money for federal candidates nationally, right? That's what it's supposed to be. Go look it up. Now, we stand with leaders who put hardworking Americans first. And it's Brian Kemp. It's right there. Our effort is inspired by Brian Kemp. This is Brian Kemp's Hardworking American, Inc. Now, when this guy says, hey, give me number 72. When this guy says, we started talking again when I saw the opportunity open up, it's not like we've been friends for 30, 40 years. Hardworking Americans Inc. Derek Dooley, Georgia, outlines results President Trump has delivered, right? And they post that and they publish it. These people are spending right now already about, I don't know if it's just Hardworking Americans Inc., but there's been a spending on his campaign of about $1 million. Now, you don't put all this in place. You see, if you go, he said when Brian Kemp decided not to run for governor, sorry, back up. He said when Brian Kemp decided not to run for Senate, this is when I said the door's open. Not true. You got to lay out a lot of stuff. You got to get everything ready. You got to put everything in place, which actually the Kemp campaign has everything in place. What Kemp had to do is Kemp had to find somebody that would fit in all the positions, all the spots at the time when he needed. This is the guy. So give me this one right here, number 70, and we'll close right here for today. This is recent. You can go look this up. This just happened the other night. Just the other night, right? Cha-ching. Number 70, cha-ching. I'll wait till I get there. I'll keep cha-ching until it gets there. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Cha-ching, number 70. There it is. Hardworking Americans, the federal PAC aligned with Brian Kemp, governor, raised more than $500,000 at a fundraiser last week at the home of Don and Stacy LeBurn. We're told the shindig took in contributions from some of the biggest donors in the state. Pay attention. Kemp has controlled this. Brian Kemp from day one. He has set this up as a cash cow. Everything is being set up to divide you, right? And if you thought when this campaign opened, Mike Collins was here and Derek Dooley was here, and he might as well get out of the race. You got the AJC, you got Martha Zoller, you got other interviews across the state. You've got these meetings I just showed you, John F. Kennedy, right? Right in there, all set up. That picture was set up. Their goal is to move it this way. You got it? So, that being said, let's move to Fulton County Court, number 2. We'll move past that for right now. Fulton County, Georgia. As you all know, these are the two most dangerous people. I can't say it with a straight face. They're dangerous. These are these dangerous folks, man. That'd be Jason Frazier and Julie Adams. Danger. Well, that's according to Fulton County Board of Commissioners, minus 2 people, right? Minus Bridget Thorne and Bob Ellis. 5-2. Now, they have been appointed, and we don't have time to go through the entire of everything. They have been appointed, the complete story. They've been appointed from the Fulton County Republican Party to be the 2 Republican nominees to the Fulton County Registration Board of Registration and Elections. Okay. The Fulton County Board of Commissioners turned their nominations down. Now, Fulton County Republican Party, with the help of the RNC and the RNC's money, because the RNC knows how important Fulton County is, get in there now for 2026. Fulton County Republican Party immediately goes and says, hey, they failed to put them in. Here is the rules, laws, the ordinance of Fulton County. Judge said, you shall put them in. They said no. Said, you're in contempt. They said no. They went to the Court of Appeals and said, put a stay on this. And don't force us to do it while we're appealing this. The appeals court of Georgia said, no, you're in contempt. They go to the meeting and they have a vote. Number 4. Wait a minute. Number 3 forces them. Number 3, the appeals court. All right, Fulton County Board of Commissioners. This is the Court of Appeals of the state of Georgia. We decline to exercise our limited power under. You're denied. Never a good sign. So then they go, and number 4, they have a vote. And the vote is 2 Democrats stayed, 3 Democrats were missing. Bridget Thorne put it on the ballot, or put it on the agenda to appoint these people to the Board of Elections. Bridget and Bob voted yes. Dana Barrett and Mo Ivy voted no, which made it fail. No tie-breaking vote there. And because 4, it's a quorum, folks. I had that question. It's a quorum. There's 7, 3 were missing, but 4 is a quorum where they could have, they could get a vote on anything they wanted. So now let's go here. So they go back to court, or they sue. They go back to court for an emergency. I think I have it here, Diane. Where's that? Yeah, there it is. Give me number 141. So Fulton County, after this happens, they want Fulton County goes back and to court, and they want an emergency hearing, and they say, hey, we want contempt of court charges. We want a fine of $1,000 a day. We want you to pay our attorney's fees. We want you to put these people that did not vote for it in jail for 20 days. So that's an emergency they're trying to get in court. Now, boom. The court sets another hearing for the case August 27th. So on Wednesday at August 27th, 2025 at 10 a.m. So that's Wednesday. So on Wednesday, if you're wondering, at 10 a.m., now what happens? I mean, will they put these people in jail? Will Fulton County get a fine? What exactly happens? And will they pay? Will Fulton County have to pay the Georgia Republican Party's attorney's fees? That'll be Wednesday. Quite interesting. Wednesday at 11 o'clock. Now, Fulton County's at 10 o'clock. Wednesday at 10 o'clock. Fulton County's argument, let me just say this. Fulton County's argument is, you can't tell us. You have 3 commissioners. This was done on purpose. I don't know where they were at. Rob Pitts, the chair, said he had a 3 o'clock appointment. The other guy said he had hip surgery, couldn't be in there. And I don't know about the third one. So here's what's going to, I don't know what the judge will do, but here's what their argument is. I have an excuse for not being there. How can I be in contempt? I had surgery. How can I be in contempt? Right? Or the other 2 that were there, how can a court tell me I have to vote a certain way? Show me, forget what the issue is, forget anything. When can a court tell me as a commissioner I have to vote a certain way? So they've got their arguments ready. You will hear those. But that'll be Wednesday at 10 o'clock. So this is quite the battle, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate the fight that's going on. Quickly, let me remind you, this is the albino rhino. And just want to refresh this for you. This is the albino rhino, number 9. And now you have Brant Frost IV, the dad, who is actually the one named in the complaints. All right. Named in the complaints. And First Liberty Building and Loan, $140 million Ponzi scheme. You know the deal. Now, this guy, the albino rhino, his son, at this day is wearing a GRA badge. He's no longer with the GRA. There's some things we're going to discuss where the GRA is concerned this week. We're putting a story together right now that we will discuss later in the week. All right. That being said, and we are still waiting for the Georgia Freedom Caucus to clear their plate, any of their members, any of their connections, any of their friends, whatever, clear their plate completely in their ties where the Georgia Republican Assembly or the GRA PAC, some other things are concerned. We're still waiting for that. That being said, we know the albino rhino sent out text messages soliciting and offering. We're working on that this week. We're going to work on that this week. Offering, hey, gift cards maybe, right? Wonder who took advantage of the gift cards, but we're working on that. Now, also in that, number 11, this is Timothy Nathaniel Darnell. There's some things we're working on this week. We have to move this right along. Number 11, there he is, Timothy Nathaniel Darnell. I know for a witness to something that someone physically sit down across from me, looked me in the eye, and said, I have an account. All right. Now I could say this. I'm very cautious because it's not fair to people to put out information that may not be true. And when I put out things and I put a question mark, I always give that individual an opportunity to come forward and say, yes, no, maybe, or I'll be glad to share. All right. And I make sure there's a question mark and we don't run that person down, attack. I sit and I looked a man in the eye, 76 years old, that invested $350,000 into First Liberty Building and Loan, that has an account with Bankers Life, and Timothy Nathaniel Darnell is his agent. I was told is his agent at Bankers Life and Securities, and Timothy Nathaniel Darnell referred him to First Liberty Building and Loan. So this is going to continue to open up. We're working on 3 or 4 different stories this week that we'll bring to you. Number 10, don't forget Georgia. We have 2 races. We have 2 races. Yes, we have the Public Service Commission race. Whether you think they're boring, whether they're not exciting, whatever. If in District 2, this is in November, right? If in District 2 or District 3, both or either a Democrat wins, they will all across this country treat this. They will treat this like it's the biggest thing that's ever happened. You can't let this happen, all right? I'm not a go out there and vote R kind of guy. That's not me. I'm not a go out there and vote R kind of guy. I do vote Republican. I don't vote Democrat, but I don't yell, just go out there and do it. You got to go vote for Tim Echols and Fitz Johnson, or you will pay the price down the road. So that's coming up. Number 17. Just a real reminder, we're looking for information. If you have information leading to the arrest. No, I always wanted to say that. I always wanted to say that. If you have information leading to the arrest, all right. If you have information, accurate information concerning the Republican Party RNC summer meeting in Atlanta last week, where Vice President J.D. Vance attended, where Michael Whatley said goodbye as chair of the RNC. He's running for Senate in the state of North Carolina, U.S. Senate. And Chairman Gruters became the new RNC chair. Anything that happened at the RNC on the ground last week in Atlanta, if you have information on that, could you please get it to me? Put our information up, would you? This is the new chair of the Republican Party out of Florida, somewhere around Sarasota, Florida. Chairman Gruters is RNC chair. So please, if you have anything leading or any information about this past week's meeting. Now, so let me see what else I have here. Now, the albino rhino, go back. That leads, I've got to give me number 9. 9 and 11 leads me, I forgot about this right here. Don't forget this right here. Okay? Number 58. And we'll touch on this a little further also. So, after First Liberty's collapse, Raffensperger pushes for fraud-fighting powers. Keep this one. You want to read this story. I don't know if you get the AJC, but you're going to want to keep up with this. It has opened the doors as investigators reel from the collapse of the Noonan-based First Liberty building and loan and an alleged $140 million Ponzi scheme. Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger is pushing for more authority for his office to root out financial fraudsters and recover money for victims. So he's wanting to use this to get some legislation. All right, so 56, one more story, and then we'll have a before we close moment. I've got an announcement I want to make before we close. Here you go. Number 56. Do you know this guy? This is the Keep Your Eyes Open House Committee on Gambling meets in Watkinsville, right? And this is State Rep Marcus. How do you pronounce his last name? I can't see it. I got to get it over here. Weindower. State Rep Marcus Weindower brought the House Study Committee on Gambling, which he chairs, to what he called his hometown of Watkinsville. So keep this in mind, number 54 and 55. This is taking place today. This is where I'm going to insert the BKP insert here. I oppose gambling. Now, not that I haven't gambled in the past. I mean, you know, I've not played too much blackjack. I'm afraid that if I played blackjack, I'd get lucky on two hands, and the next thing I know, they got me upstairs accusing me of counting cards and smashing my knuckles. I don't know why I said that, but I don't count cards. But anyhow, so I'm not telling you I've never gambled. I'm not telling you that. I'll go into greater detail on how I feel about it at a different time. But I want to tell you this. They do things on purpose. The Senate is running down the lane of what? Ending state income tax. You can't make any of this up, right? So the Senate is running down the lane of ending state income tax and having meetings already on how to get the money. How do you end state income tax? Where do you get the money from? Wonder what this will bring in. So you lay out the cheer, ending state income tax. That's amazing. I think that's just amazing. We'll have to hurdle the loss of revenue. Where does that revenue come in from? And then 2 weeks later, gambling. Oh, it would bring in so much money. It would fund education for the children and supplement the income tax. Watch, just watch. I know, and you laugh at me. H.R. 753, House Study Committee on Gaming in the state of Georgia. Give me video 11.
Lawmakers are gathering again this morning to talk about legalized gambling. That includes sports betting, casinos, and horse racing. Despite years of trying to legalize gaming, Georgia remains one of only 4 states without some sort of legalized gaming. Supporters say that could bring in $500 million a year to our state, but those against it worry about possible crime and addiction. A committee that's meeting has until December to make a recommendation. Today's meeting starts at 9 this morning.
All right, so this is the agenda. It goes all day long. They have a lunch break. You can watch this. Give me number 56. 50. That's 55. Give me number 55. And I want to watch it this afternoon. Remember what she said. Gaming, casinos, horse racing. Where are they going to put the OTB, right? Next to you. I've always said, and they never liked it, Blue Ridge, Georgia, where are you putting the casino? See, they want a casino up here so bad. Well, you don't have the population. Who would put a casino where you don't? Really? Oh, they will travel, my friend. And they want to cut off that, boom, shot over there to North Carolina, to Murphy and Cherokee for the 2 casinos 15 miles from here. They want to stop that. Anyhow, all right. So that I'm going to watch later today. I'm going to get into that and start watching it. I'm going to keep up with it. I do not support it. I will tell you why later. So that is our show for today. But before we go, I want to make an announcement before we go. And as Diane prepares our announcement, before we go, you've probably noticed Rumble is growing fast and it's not slowing down. They're building a real alternative to big tech that puts creators first and actually protects free speech. And now there's Rumble Premium, an easy way to upgrade your experience. With Premium, you can get ad-free viewing across the platform, no pre-rolls, no interruptions, just the content you came for. Plus, Premium members unlock exclusive content like bonus videos, behind-the-scenes drops, and more from your favorite creators. Right now, Rumble is offering $10 off an annual subscription. Just go to rumble.com/premium and use the promo code STUDIO at the checkout. That's rumble.com/premium, promo code STUDIO.